In this exercise, your job was to identify each adjective, each article, and each adverb in the sentences. Let's go through them one by one. First, when water in a lake is deeply tinged with red, a heavy growth of algae is present. Let's start with adjectives. Well, there are a few adjectives here, and recognizing them may be tricky in at least one instance. Heavy is an adjective. It refers to or modifies the noun that follows, growth. And present is another adjective. Remember we said that adjectives sometimes appear after a verb of being. The verb of being links the adjective to the noun that comes before the verb of being. So the adjective present refers back to the growth. The growth is what is present. So the noun growth and the adjective present are being linked together by the linking verb, or the verb of being is. There's another word here which could be considered an adjective, and different grammarians will give different opinions, and it doesn't make a great deal of difference whether you define this as an adjective or not. But the word tinged in this sentence might be considered an adjective as well. There are really two ways of looking at this. In this particular sentence, you could say that is tinged is a verb phrase referring to the water having been tinged or colored. And is tinged could be considered a verb phrase in which tinged would be the main verb and is would be a helping verb. Another way of looking at this would be to consider is as a verb of being which links water with an adjective, tinged, meaning colored. Some adjectives do end in ed and are derived from verbs. So tinged could be considered an adjective, or could be considered part of the verb. And you should consider either one correct. Grammatically, it doesn't make much difference in how the sentence would be constructed, and it's, in a sense, simply a difference in name or wording. So those are the adjectives in the sentence. You might have been tempted by the word red, because the word red is often used as an adjective. You might refer to the red ball that came bouncing down the street, in which case red is an adjective describing the noun ball. In this case, however, red is being used as a noun. The sentence says that the water in the lake is deeply tinged with red. Red is being described here as a kind of a substance, a thing that has been used to tinge or color the water. So red is a thing in this sentence, and therefore it's a noun rather than an adjective. Remember that the same word can be used as more than one part of speech, depending on how it's used in the sentence. What about articles? Those are easy to recognize because there are just three words that can be articles, a, an, and the. And in this sentence we have the word a appearing twice. When water in a lake is deeply tinged with red, a heavy growth of algae is present. So a or a appears twice in this sentence, and those are the two articles. Finally, adverbs. Remember we said that adverbs often end in ly, and we've got one of those in this sentence, deeply. The adverb deeply in this sentence modifies the adjective tinged. It tells us how the water is tinged with red. How is it tinged? Deeply. Remember, adverbs often answer the question how, or tell us how something happens or appears. So in this case, it is deeply tinged. That's how it is tinged. And deeply is an adverb modifying the adjective tinged. Let's look at the second sentence. If Peter has enough free time next summer, he will visit southern Italy on his vacation. We have three adjectives in this sentence. Free is an adjective modifying the noun time. It tells what kind of time, free time. Next is an adjective modifying the noun summer. It tells us what summer, which summer, next summer. It gives more information about the summer being referred to. Finally, southern is an adjective. It modifies the proper noun, Italy. It gives us more information about Italy, or it tells us more about Italy. What part of Italy? Southern Italy. There's no article in this sentence. The words a, an, and the don't appear, but there is one adverb, enough. The adverb enough in this case modifies the adjective free. Remember we saw that free is an adjective modifying the noun time. Enough is an adverb giving us more information about free or about the free time. How much free time or what kind of free time? Enough free time. So enough is an adverb modifying the adjective free in this sentence. How about our third sentence? Auto racing is generally considered one of the most dangerous sports in the world. Let's look for adjectives first. The first word in the sentence is an adjective, auto. Remember we pointed out that some words that are usually used as nouns can sometimes be used as adjectives when they are used in such a way as to modify other nouns. That's what's happening here. The word auto is most often used as a noun. You refer to an auto coming down the street. The auto is a thing that is being referred to, and therefore it's a noun. In this case, however, we have the noun racing, describing or naming an activity, and we have auto being used as an adjective to give more information about the racing. What kind of racing? Auto racing. So here we have a word that's usually a noun being used as an adjective. Auto is an adjective. Considered is another word which in this particular sentence could be considered either an adjective or a verb. It could be considered part of the verb phrase is considered, or it could be considered an adjective which is linked to the noun racing by the be verb is. So considered could be considered an adjective or a verb, depending on which term you happen to prefer. Either one could be correct. Dangerous is another adjective. In this sentence, it modifies or gives more information about the noun sports. And we have two articles in this sentence. Both of them are the, one of the most dangerous sports in the world. So both of those should have been marked on your sheet as articles. Finally, there are two adverbs. Generally is an adverb. Again, notice the ending ly, which is commonly found on adverbs, and it modifies the adjective considered. How or when is it considered a dangerous sport? Generally. So it gives more information about that adjective considered. And remember, a word that modifies an adjective is an adverb. And most is another adverb. We're told that auto racing is generally considered one of the most dangerous sports in the world. So it's a dangerous sport. Dangerous is an adjective. And how dangerous? Most dangerous. So most is an adverb which gives more information about the adjective dangerous. An adverb modifying an adjective. Let's look at our next sentence. Silver Blaze was recently selected as the best story about the adventures of the famous detective Sherlock Holmes. We've got a number of adjectives here. The first one is the first word in the sentence, silver. We can see from the way it's being used here that silver is an adjective giving information about the noun blaze. What kind of blaze? A silver blaze. Silver is a word describing a color, and color words very often are used as adjectives. Selected could be considered an adjective. Once again, it's on the borderline between an adjective or a verb. Best is an adjective. It modifies or gives more information about the noun story. And famous is an adjective. It modifies or gives more information about the noun detective. So silver, selected, best, and famous could all be considered adjectives. We have three articles in this sentence. All of them happen to be the word the. The best story about the adventures of the famous detective Sherlock Holmes. And there's one adverb, recently. Again, it has the telltale ly ending, and it tells more about or modifies the adjective selected. When was it selected? Recently. So it gives more information about the adjective, it modifies the adjective, and that makes it an adverb. And our final sentence. The veterinarian arrived too late to save the injured bird. We have one adjective in this sentence, injured. It gives more information about the noun bird. It tells us something more about the bird. We have two articles, both of them the word the. And finally, we have two adverbs here. One adverb is the adverb late. What word does that adverb late modify? It modifies the verb arrived. It tells when the veterinarian arrived. The veterinarian arrived late. So the word late is an adverb modifying the verb arrived. Now what about the word to? You might remember to from our list of common adverbs. What does to modify in this sentence? Well, in this sentence, to modifies the adverb late. How late did the veterinarian arrive? Too late. So it gives more information about the adverb late. And remember, an adverb can modify a verb, it can modify an adjective, or it can modify an adverb. So in this case, we have one adverb late modifying the verb arrived, and then we have another adverb to modifying the adverb late. Two adverbs in a row, too late. Did you get most of these words correct? I hope so. When you're ready, let's move on to the next lesson.